My surprise wedding ignored for my brother's game. Family fallout and a father's apology. Have you ever felt invisible your entire life, only for one pivotal moment to expose the painful truth? That was my story. I invited my family to my surprise wedding, but they chose my brother's event instead. What unfolded next tore my family apart, leading to my father's heartfelt apology. My name is Chris, a 30-year-old married man with a stable career and a seemingly ordinary life. But to my family, I was always an afterthought, overshadowed by my younger brother, Mark. Every milestone I achieved, every success I earned was eclipsed by his presence. When it came time for the most significant day of my life, my wedding, they didn't even bother to ask what my important event was. They opted for Mark's football game instead. I didn't reveal it was my wedding, but their choice set off a chain of events that changed everything. My family is now in disarray. Here's how it all unraveled. The background: growing up, my life seemed typical, but to my mother, only one child mattered: Mark, my 24-year-old brother. From the moment he was born, our household revolved around him. Mom, now 54, transformed into a parent obsessed with her son's football achievements. She wasn't always like this. I remember her proudly displaying my school projects or attending my science fairs when I was young. But once Mark arrived, I felt erased from the family picture. I funded my own college education, never asking for a cent, and built a solid career. Yet to Mom, only Mark's stories were worth sharing: his latest game, his stats, his potential. Dad, 55, never raised his voice, but also never challenged her. He stayed silent, letting Mom elevate Mark as if he were destined for NFL stardom. The only person who noticed this imbalance was Grandpa Ben, my dad's father, who lived 4 hours away. He called weekly, never hesitating to point out Mom's favoritism, even confronting her directly once during a Christmas gathering. She didn't speak to him for months afterward. One particularly painful memory involves my college fund, set up by my grandparents. After a minor house fire during my junior year, Mom rebranded it an emergency fund, claiming it was used for repairs. Years later, I learned the truth. A significant portion went toward Mark's first car and the down payment for his college apartment. Meanwhile, I worked 2 jobs to cover my rent. People often ask why I didn't cut contact sooner. Honestly, I spent years chasing their approval, hoping my achievements would make them notice me. They never did. Grandpa Ben was my sole supporter. When I graduated college, he sent a handwritten letter with $120 tucked inside, saying every graduate deserved a celebratory drink. That's the kind of man he is. Meeting Olivia, I met my wife, Olivia, in college while working at the library desk. She learned early on about my family dynamics, witnessing them firsthand. My parents visited campus once during my freshman year, only because Mark's team had a nearby game. They didn't even tell me they were coming. I found out through their Facebook posts. Olivia's family was the opposite. Her parents showed up for everything, even small events like her photography exhibit, where her mom sent cookies for the entire class. It felt foreign to me. The catalyst: the story truly begins last year with a reckless act by Mark online. To understand its impact, you need to see the pattern. Mark has always been a talented footballer, earning a scholarship to a good college. But my parents acted as if he were already a legend. Mom dedicated an entire room to his jerseys, trophies, and framed photos. Meanwhile, I paid my way through school, landed a job in IT, and climbed the ranks. When I bought my first car with my own money, Mom barely acknowledged it, quickly pivoting to Mark's latest game stats. Grandpa Ben once told me, "Stop trying to outshine your brother for their approval. Build your own life. They'll see what they missed one day." I thought he was just comforting me, but he was prophetic. About a year ago, Mark posted an Instagram video from a party, holding a beer and laughing with teammates. The caption read, "Some chase real dreams. Others sit at desks acting important. Guess who Mom brags about?" It ended with laughing emojis. Mom liked it, so did a few aunts. A cousin tagged me with an eye emoji, and it hit me hard, not with anger, but with clarity. They'd made their priorities clear. The post didn't go viral, but it spread through our small circle. Old classmates tagged me with comments like, "Ouch," or "Harsh, man." Mom commented, "So proud of you, champ," under Mark's post, twisting the knife further. A high school friend messaged me, calling Mark a jerk. I just replied, "Yeah." Mark had always been this way, boasting about his car, his apartment, even telling me to aim higher than average at Thanksgiving while our parents nodded along. I didn't respond online. It would have looked desperate. Instead, I focused on work, leading a product team at a mid-sized tech firm. We secured a major client deal, earning me a promotion and a bonus. I shared the news with Olivia and Grandpa Ben, who were thrilled. Mark, however, sent a private message. "You could have been something if you pushed harder. Don't blame Mom for backing a winner." I replied, "Cool," and left it at that. He sent a laughing emoji. Olivia saw the message and asked if I was okay. I said I was because what else could I say? Grandpa Ben called after a cousin told him about the post. He was furious but calm, saying, "You don't need to fight back, build your life. The results will speak." I told him about my promotion and my engagement to Olivia. He asked about our wedding plans, promising to be there in his best suit. The wedding plans, when I proposed to Olivia, it was simple. We took a weekend trip to a cabin by a lake. On a quiet trail overlooking the water, I proposed with a ring I'd carried for weeks. My hands shook, but she said yes immediately, hugging me tightly. It was just us, no fanfare. I called my parents to share the news. Mom said, "That's nice," before talking about Mark's tournament. Dad said, "Congrats, son," and that was it. Olivia later asked if this was normal. I said yes. We set the wedding date for October 16 at Olivia's aunt's house, a beautiful backyard with string lights and a view of the hills. I texted my parents and Mark, "I've got a big event on October 16. Would love for you to be there. It's set, can't change it." Mom replied, "That's Mark's last game before playoffs. We'll be there cheering him on." I didn't clarify it was my wedding. If they cared, they'd ask. They didn't. Olivia asked if I wanted to tell them. I said no. Grandpa Ben, however, marked the date on his calendar, vowing not to miss it. My parents never followed up. By September, the wedding was fully planned, simple, with 60 guests, including Olivia's family, Grandpa Ben, and a few cousins. I asked Grandpa to walk me down the aisle since my parents couldn't be bothered. He was honored. The wedding day on October 16, the backyard looked perfect, string lights, a rented arch, and a small dance floor. Friends and family arrived, including college buddies and cousins who drove hours to attend. Everyone asked about my parents. I said they had other plans. Grandpa Ben arrived in his suit, handing me a locket from my grandma, saying she wanted it given to someone who showed up for others. I couldn't speak. The ceremony started at 2 p.m. Grandpa walked me down the aisle and Olivia's father walked her. Our friend Amanda officiated, keeping it short and sweet. When she pronounced us married, the crowd cheered and confetti flew. The DJ played Olivia's favorite college song. We took photos, ate barbecue, and danced. Aunt Helen posted photos on Facebook, captioning them, "Beautiful day celebrating Chris and Olivia." Some chose other priorities, but we had a blast. I didn't see the post until later, as we went offline for our honeymoon. The fallout: we spent a week hiking and relaxing, phone-free. When we returned, my phone exploded with notifications. Aunt Helen's post had spread through our hometown, with people shocked that my parents skipped my wedding for Mark's game. Comments piled up. "They missed his graduation too? And how do you not ask what the event is?" Mom commented. "He never told us it was a wedding," but others pointed out she never asked. Mom's messages ranged from rage, "How dare you embarrass us?" to pleading, "Please call me. This is tearing our family apart." Mark texted, accusing me of making Mom look bad on purpose. I didn't reply. Grandpa Ben visited my parents, telling Dad he was ashamed of him for letting Mom's favoritism ruin the family. Dad left me a voicemail, apologizing for missing the wedding and admitting he'd failed as a father. He said he told Mom things had to change or he was done. Mom's messages turned to guilt trips. "I'm your mother. I deserve a chance." She claimed she supported Mark because his career had a window. I didn't respond immediately. Aunt Helen apologized for the drama, but I told her it wasn't her fault. Mark's game, the one my parents chose, was a disaster. He was benched after 2 interceptions, and his team lost in the playoffs. Online, people mocked him for skipping my wedding for a loss. The confrontation's Dad asked to meet alone at a diner. He looked worn out, apologizing sincerely. "I should have been at your wedding, your graduations, everything. I thought keeping the peace was being a good dad. I was wrong." He said he'd started counseling and was repaying my college fund, even if it took years. I told him words weren't enough, I needed action. He agreed. Mom requested a meeting with both parents. Olivia came with me. Mom, looking exhausted, insisted she didn't know it was a wedding. I pointed out she never asked about my important event. She cried, saying she thought Mark needed her more. I listed every missed milestone, graduations, birthdays, the college fund theft. She apologized repeatedly, but I said apologies weren't enough. Dad said he was in counseling and urged Mom to join. I told them I wouldn't cut them off, but a relationship required real change. Mark met me at a park, upset about his season and the backlash. He said he didn't ask to be the favorite. I replied he enjoyed it, though. He complained people saw him as the villain. I said it was because he acted like one. He asked if we were okay. I said we weren't enemies, but we weren't brothers either. Not yet. Moving forward, Grandpa Ben called, proud of my restraint. My job offered me a lead role on a new product line with a higher salary. Olivia and I moved to a bigger apartment and started saving for a house. Dad kept his promise, sending small monthly payments labeled college fund payback with notes like month 1. He started counseling, and Mom joined a few sessions, though I'm unsure if she's committed. Mark went quiet after a rough season, posting less online. He texted in December, still upset about being seen as the villain. I told him it stemmed from years of our parents prioritizing him. He didn't reply. Dad visited us at Christmas, bringing gifts and a framed wedding photo. He said he was proud of me, words I'd never heard from him before. By March, Grandpa Ben visited and we took him hiking. He praised my strength in setting boundaries without exploding. He shared a story about standing up to his own father, saying it changed how people saw him. I posted one wedding photo on Facebook, me, Olivia, and Grandpa Ben under the lights, with the caption, "I'm good, built my own thing with people who showed up. No drama, no explanations. Life feels calm now. No daily chaos, no constant texts. Just Olivia, me, and a future we're building together. For the first time, everything feels right." Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.